I mean, now you own 6 gyms.
Yep.
Wisconsin, more of a rural area. And there's some interesting things that you can pull off and some interesting advantages you have in a rural area that not everybody has those advantages. But anyways, like, why don't you tell people how, because you're young. How old are you?
27.
27. Yep. And then you're like, holy shit, you've done all that. And that's not all you do too, because you buy and sell gym equipment and you also repair gym equipment like all over the place. For those who don't know you, how the hell did you get into all this?
Sure. So,
welcome to the Profit Lifestyle for Fitness Entrepreneurs podcast. My name is Scott Carpenter. I am a personal trainer turned multiple gym owner and investor who's already been through the rock bottom and near bankruptcy in the fitness business. But I've been lucky enough to come out the other side and have turned the profits of my fitness business into indestructible wealth. I'll be sharing the no bullshit strategies, tactics, and advice to win big in business and in life. So if you're a gym owner, a personal trainer, or an online coach who wants to make multiple 6 figures in take-home profit and have the freedom with your time to actually enjoy it, subscribe now to this podcast. This is the show for you. All right, welcome back. Welcome to the Profit Lifestyle for Fitness Entrepreneurs. I've got pretty awesome guy hanging out for, we decided just to do, hey, let's do a guest podcast today. So I got Colton with me. He's in town from Wisconsin. And yeah, visiting family out here. And I've known you for almost a year now?
Yeah, just about a year, come up in September.
Yeah, we've done quite a bit together. We were kind of whiteboarding stuff for your business over there in the office, but you said to swing by, stop by. So we're going to do a podcast because you've got a pretty interesting story. And I think there's a lot of gems that people can get from you because, I mean, now you own 6 gyms.
Yep.
Right? Wisconsin, more of a rural area. And there's some interesting things that you can pull off and some interesting advantages you have in a rural area that not everybody has those advantages, but you can also take some of the strategies that you've done to apply them to different areas too. We kind of outline a few of those. But anyways, like, why don't you tell people how, because you're young. How old are you?
27.
27. Yeah. And then you're like, holy shit, you've done all that. And that's not all you do too, because you buy and sell gym equipment and you also repair gym equipment like all over the place. And so, like, yeah, for those who don't know you, how the hell did you get into all this?
Sure. So we'll keep it somewhat brief. We won't go into like all the details, right? But started when I was 18. I was going to college, kind of tinkering with like online personal training and that kind of stuff. Fell into a little studio space so I could do like my own like recording efforts. You know, this is pre-influencer, so I wanted to record my workouts and kind of get that information out there for the people watching, right? And I also wanted to get into like the YouTube videos. You know, that's kind of when that was more popular at the time. So I fell into this little studio space, 1,500 square feet, and put like my mom and dad's like home gym Bowflex unit in there and a little bit of rubber flooring. And like that was my gym. I had a little studio. Didn't really have much like awareness of what I wanted to do. I just like wanted my own space to do what I wanted to do. We then kind of transitioned into like, hey, I want some gym equipment. I want to be able to work out. I just want like a leg extension or like a functional trainer. That kind of led me into buying and selling gym equipment. Long story short, I'd go and buy 3 or 4 units on Craigslist at the time because Marketplace wasn't much of a thing. I'd buy 3, 4, 5 units from Scott's Garage. I'd keep the 2 that I wanted. I'd sell the 3 and I'd break even or I'd actually profit and I'd have the equipment I wanted, right? So I kind of continued doing this for like 6 months, expanded my little studio to now like 3,000 square feet because I just had the space to do it. And I basically acquired a gym, 3,000 square feet worth of cool gym stuff, or at least what I thought was cool. And then also like acquiring all this cash on the side because I was just selling, gym equipment, right? So that's 18, 19, like that was kind of like those 2 years of like, back end of when I was 18, going into 19, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the very early on stages. That's studio location 1. I actually started doing a personal training facility down the road too. And so my personal training funds at this other gym I was at was like funding this venture that I was doing. Then a very interesting kind of guy from Craigslist at the time, we started talking and I would always hit this guy up to buy his equipment, but I would never do it. I was just like a tire kicker at the time. I was the guy that would be like, hey, I'm 18, I'm 19. I really need this piece of equipment, but I can only do like $200 and it'd be like 1,000, right? So like I was just like lowballing the shit out of people, but it was
nobody can hear that, but my wife just hit something and yelled shit from outside in the hallway.
I was always hitting this guy up, just giving him like the lowest offers, but I was doing that to everybody. That's how I acquired all this stuff at such a good price. When you're young, you've got the leverage of like your age and you can kind of make people feel bad, right? Like I'm just a young entrepreneur trying to start something. So that was always my leverage. I'm still young now, but I don't play that card anymore. I'm too experienced in doing this stuff. But anyways, this guy I was hitting up all the time, would never buy from him. And we were just like texting one day and he's like, yeah, I've got all this stuff coming in tomorrow and I just don't have enough space for it. I'm like, oh, what is it? You know, like maybe I can help you. He's like, really? I was like, yeah, I've got this other, and I've expanded my gym from 1,500 to 3,000, and I have this other 2,000 square feet I could rent. Mind you, my rent is $200 a month for 1,500 square feet, and now I'm at like $500 a month for 3,000 square feet. Like I'm not paying anything.
It's unbelievable. And so, because for context, everybody, like where is this? These are smaller towns in Wisconsin, right?
This is a town of like 1,200 people in like central Wisconsin, right? This specific town is Princeton, Wisconsin, very small. There's nothing going on. They've got like a farmer's market on Saturdays and like on the weekends, and they've got some local bars, right? But there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
So I have the opportunity to rent this other 2,000-ish, 3,000-ish square feet for, again, probably another $500 a month.
It's insane.
It was crazy at the time. It was scary at the time for me. I didn't have any money. Like I had some cash, but I didn't have a real bank account that had more than $3,000 in it or whatever. No like long-term lease agreements either. It was just month to month, like a chill guy. So anyways, I'm talking to this dude and he's like, hey, I've got all this stuff coming in. I don't have space for it. And I was like, well, what can I do? How can I help you? You know, I've got the space we can maybe utilize. And long story short, the next day, box trucks of just gym equipment starts showing up. Ellipticals, treadmills, all this stuff that I wasn't a big cardio guy because cardio breaks and strength equipment doesn't.
Yeah.
But we're getting this stuff shipped into us, and we're like, well, now what do we do? And so basically our agreement with this guy that I had not met in person, but like we talked on the phone and cut this deal was, Colton, you sell the stuff. Just tell me, like, before you list it, what price you want to list it at, or I'll tell you what price I want you to list it at. And then whatever you sell for above that price, you keep and give me the cash that I want, right? Like that was our agreement we were doing.
Kind of like consignment, right?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. You handle the sales and we'll figure it out from there, right? So then we'd meet up like every 1 or 2 weeks. I'd give him like his, $10,000 in cash, $5,000 in cash, whatever it was, and we just that was just how it started. So now I'm like buying and selling equipment for myself, but also selling this random equipment coming out of random gyms in Wisconsin for this guy. Mm-hmm. So that's like my first connection into like this industry. So I'm doing this with him for a couple months. This turns into, hey, do you want to learn how to service this stuff and fix it? And again, I'm like 19 and a half at this point. So I've been like in the industry now for like kind of a year, like kind of not. And I texted like my best buddy, Kyle. He works with me today to this day. I'm like, hey man, like if you have any interest, like in learning how to fix this stuff, because he kind of wanted to drop out of school too. I'm a dropout. And he's like, you know what, like I'll try, I'll figure it out, like we'll do it. And neither of us have any real background in like using tools, right? Like we grew up with the dad saying, hold the drywall,
right,
and hold the flashlight,
Yeah.
But like we never were like just turning wrenches. Like we weren't gearheads by any means or anything like that. So like we were just, no experience in that field, but now we're going to learn how to use tools and fix gym equipment at the same time. So again, we'll kind of speed this story up, but now this guy's kind of teaching us the ropes on gym repairs and getting us in with the connections of like the install companies, right? Because this guy owns this massive install fitness equipment repair company in Wisconsin, essentially. And so now we're kind of like being like a middleman, or like we're just kind of helping him service Wisconsin, help him install. It turns out his business was kind of going out and we were young and hungry. So like we basically inherited all of his contacts. We took over service. We took over all of these large, the Matrix and Precor reps. Like we were now friends with them. So now we could do the gym installs for them as well. So that was kind of like what got us into this gym business. I've now got one studio. I'm training at another studio, and now we're doing like random gym install moves, servicing, but like we don't know what we're doing. We're 19, right? So that was really the beginning, and then it just kind of continued growing from there. We've now got 6 gym locations. My best friends work with me. We service gym equipment across the state of Wisconsin. We install gym equipment across the Midwest, primarily Wisconsin, but we'll kind of drive 2, 3, 4 states away if the money makes sense. So there's a lot to it. I mean, we could really get into some fine details, but that was really like what started it. Buying and selling equipment, collecting cash, getting some other friends to drop out and work with me, and just kind of build this business from kind of the ground kind of the ground up, you know?
Yeah, it's nuts. So you started, buying and selling, making profit from that, and then with keeping some of it yourself.
Yep.
Find cheaper places to rent, throw the equipment in there, and then you started charging for open membership gyms.
Yep.
And that you called it Grizzly Fitness, right?
Yep.
And now, 6 locations, still buying and selling equipment still, and then you got your equipment repair business, like gym repair now, which is pretty cool. And you started kind of just doing the open gym membership models, which the brilliant thing around you is you've got no competition.
100%. Yep.
Which is unbelievable. So it's a great community service too.
Yeah.
You know, you had these rural towns that wouldn't have gyms up if it weren't for you. And that's pretty cool to do.
Well, and so our whole like like the reason we were doing that, right? I'm growing up in a town, like I live in a town of 500 people, to put that out there. And then every town around us is 1,200, 2,000, 5,000, 3. So like the first major city of people, 50, 60,000 is an hour drive anywhere near us, right? So as a kid growing up in these small towns and being an athlete and wanting more and like going to the next level in that realm, it made me want to give back to these small communities. And that's like really the motivator behind it. These small communities are drive-through towns. They don't have anything there. People don't you want to start a gym, you want to go to the big city to make the big money. I look at it like I don't want competition and I want to give back to my small community. Now, are you going to get rich off of like one fitness center in a town of 1,200 people? Probably not. But you can make some fine money and you can have a good time doing it. You can retire. You know, like those are opportunities, right?
Absolutely.
So our biggest thing was like no competition, but also I'm from a small town and I wanted to give those kids in those towns a better chance to be like the best athlete they could be or the best version of themselves, right? So that was kind of our model there. And then our fitness equipment moving company early on, our business model was open a gym and as it was functioning, kind of like have a warehouse there, like for our other company, Priority Fitness, our fitness equipment install moving company. So that company was like the money maker, and then the gym like didn't really make any money. So then like our warehouse would like make the rent payments, and then the gym would like slowly grow. And then once the gym was to a good spot, we would then take our warehouse or our Priority Fitness business, we'd then move it to another facility, eventually open a gym up there. And like that was kind of like our snowball, you know, that was kind of like the ball rolling down the hill. So that was like the first 2 or 3 locations where Priority Fitness never had a home. It would bounce around. It would help open another facility, and then it would move on to the next. And that's how we did it, you know?
Gotcha. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, that's just really cool. And, when you're the only gym in town, you get a lot of people in those memberships, which is pretty awesome. And like I said, I mean, what a great community service, too, because there are no other options.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, what do you do in a small town, right? You go to the bar, you go to church, like you go to school. I mean, like there's nothing else to do.
Much.
So why not?
My parents both grew up in small towns. I did myself, but like they're the only ones out of all their siblings that kind of got out of small towns, right, and moved to like suburbs and stuff. So I had that upbringing, but all of my cousins are in like Montrose, Illinois.
Yeah.
It's 300 and some people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I know exactly. And there's T-Town, right? Nicknamed that because there's like, I don't know, 900 people in 12 bars in that town, right? Yeah. But yeah, so I know small town. Like we went there all the time too. You know what I mean? As a family, is great with all my aunts and uncles and cousins. So like I love small towns. I've just never lived in one myself, but it's a really cool thing to do. And then the cool thing now is that kind of how we whiteboarded out there, you know, is you started over the last, I don't know how long you've had it, a year, maybe a little bit longer. You started to really put in semi-private training.
Yep.
Which is great because you'll make money off of the memberships. You're covering the bills. It's profitable. You're creating jobs, and then now by offering fitness services and semi-private training in different capacities, you're able to bring in a lot more from that too.
Yeah, and it's also like full circle for us too on the personal training aspect. When I first started, when I was like 18 in college, we were doing like online personal training and like we were trying to like help people become better versions of themselves. Just trying to be like young and hungry and find ways to make money, online workout programs and that kind of stuff. Then I started my first studio and I was doing like training for athletes and like the football team, like the youth football team and stuff. So it was really fun. Then I got away from doing all of that because I didn't have the time to do it and I didn't want the stress of that business because it's a whole other business. Open memberships is one thing, managing coaches and clients, and that's just a whole other headache and a whole other animal, right? So we finally come full circle though. Like when I started 8-9 years ago, the goal was to help people, not that we haven't been, but in that capacity. And now we're finally kind of doing it again, which is really cool to see, because literally for that whole stretch in between there, we weren't doing any personal training. Like we'd have people come up, hey, can we rent your space? Like, so we can, can we be like one of the rent-a-trainers here? We're like, whatever, and just give them leads and stuff. And I was like, no, like we're just not doing that, liability, I just use whatever excuse. So we were literally just making money off of open membership. And now we have implemented semi-private and actually a system approach to personal training. So that's nice. So yeah,
that's great. And there's a lot of extra revenue to be had in that too.
100%.
And those who want to be personal, like you're giving them a house to, right? You're giving them a job, an opportunity to do it where they wouldn't have it otherwise.
Right.
Or else they're doing it out of their garage or something, right?
Yep.
Training 2 people.
Yep.
So it's cool. You've really been growing that aspect of the business, which is pretty neat too. And then of course, so I know multiple people who have bought equipment from you because you can source used, right? You're also contracted with several people to do new as well.
Yep.
And so, obviously everybody listening to this podcast, they're fitness business owners.
Yep.
Right. So I'm going to make sure in the podcast notes to where should they go to if they got questions too? Because we'll put it in there. But
so to explain a little bit about like what we do for the people listening, Priority Fitness is our fitness equipment install service company, right? Mm-hmm. To put it to kind of, so everybody understands, I mean, we've got about like 25,000 square feet of used and new product coming. For this business, we're typically the middleman. So if Scott's the sales rep for Techno Gym, Matrix, Precore Life Fitness, whatever major company, Scott sells it to customer A, and then Scott reaches out to us and says, hey, I sold to customer A. Can you guys do the install? We say yes, and it's not much of like in this scenario, there's not much of a negotiation on what we get paid. It's just kind of a fixed rate depending on what you sold.
Right.
So our warehouse, 25,000 square feet, is always getting new product in box. So if you sell 10 treadmills, we're the company that accepts them in box. We assemble them in our warehouse. We got to get rid of all the garbage, which is like one of our biggest expenses in that industry because there's so much styrofoam and plastics and cardboard and stuff like that. So we get the new stuff. We build the new stuff. We then ship the new stuff in our trucks. We hire out for trucks. Then we meet the truck on site. We install the new stuff. We extract the old stuff. Mm-hmm. We then refurb, recondition. I don't like to use the word refurb because we're not going to spray, we're not going to paint it and make it like new, but we're going to reservice it and make sure it's good to go for a health club again. We work with extended warranty companies, so like we can add warranties to the product that's not through us. So we do all of that, right? That's how we get our product. That's like how our business operates. We install, we extract. A lot of the times we have to buy that old product. Sometimes the product's so old that we charge to take it out because it's more like junk product where it's not worth reselling. So that's how that operation works. And then we also like service our customers. We don't really promote too hard on servicing the entire state of Wisconsin at this point because we're really good at installs. We're obviously going to kind of get into gym repair now and kind of what that holds. But as far as like our active service business, we're not going too crazy on dealing with like residential customers. Can be a pain in the butt. And especially if it's not product that I sold, like if it's something that's got like, if you go to like Dick's or where we're from in Wisconsin, we've got like Johnson Health or Second Wind Exercise, but any kind of like new and used store that you can buy equipment from, you go buy a treadmill from there, and then like we get a dispatch to fix your treadmill. You're pissed off at the company you bought from, but now like it's our problem. So it just turns into like a big headache basically. So anyways, that's how our business operates on that end. We've got like 10 guys who run that business, but we do help gym owners. A lot of like mom and pop style gyms. We don't do a whole lot of like the anytime realm, but if Scott wants to open up a gym, 10,000 square feet, 5,000 square feet, and he wants to save on equipment costs, that's what we kind of specialize in. We specialize in finding really cool used gym equipment. That's what I like to collect for myself. But then, again, you need 10, 20, 30 cardio units and a circuit and squat racks and dumbbells, right? Like we source all that stuff. We kind of combine new and used to make sure it fits what you need.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. It's, with you can make stuff work, right? You can be like, hey, here's what I need. Let me know what you can do. Blend of new, used, whatever it is. And you can kind of source that stuff.
Well, and a lot of people don't know too. You get into the gym game and you just think you got to go buy new right away or you got to go get a loan for equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, what we specialize in is like cutting that cost in half, if not way more. You know what I mean? Right. Like you're talking a $250,000 to $500,000 loan for gym equipment, and we're coming in at $150,000, right? Plus maybe delivery and install. But that's what we specialize in, is helping like those mom and pop single gym owners or a couple gym owners open up what their dream gym is. And so like our small town gym, I think more people can do it and like at an affordable cost, you know, for $50,000, $75,000, 5,000 square feet, we can really get you what you need. And you're going to be kind of way less overhead than you would have if you would have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is, that's the most fun part too. Like the most rewarding is like helping the Scots out there, like build something and just like watching them like, hey man, how's it going? It's been about a year. How you doing? It's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not being in over your head. So
I got a question. Why are all the best tricep machines? Why did those go off the market?
the overheads.
The overheads. Yeah. You step on the lever, you got the nice curl bar. Like they're all gone everywhere.
Yeah. So
everywhere. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. They're really hard. Like they're really hard to find on the used market. I have like 4 of them. I collect all that stuff.
You're
right?
hoarding them. They're all in your warehouse.
Yeah. They're just not out there anymore because I have them. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. The cool thing is a lot of brands are coming back with like really cool stuff. Like if you've heard of like the pendulum squat, which is like it's like a hack squat, but it like kind of goes. Like
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So the pendulum squat was a cool bodybuilding style like press 20, 30 years ago. And then it basically became non-existent as well. And now like there's all these new companies coming out, like either making the product or even Matrix is a company we do a lot of installs for in Wisconsin. They're actually like, they're picking up the game because lifting is cool again, right? Lifting's coming back. So we're seeing a really cool, like just change in the new product game of like just cool stuff. You know what I mean? So regarding your overhead tricep, maybe it'll make a comeback.
But like, what do they always have? They have the dip ones, which I don't like at all.
They've got like the tricep extension.
And then, you have a tricep extension like on a preacher curl bench, which is the most awkward, awful, stupid tricep machine ever.
Yeah.
I avoid that thing like the plague. I hate that thing.
Why you wouldn't just keep the overhead tricep? I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. It's ridiculous.
It's a phenomenal machine, though.
But they're the best, yeah. I mean, the last place I did was like a community gym in Old Town Scottsdale that was owned by the city. It was like a combination boxing gym. That was the last place I've been to that's had that thing.
Yeah.
It was like half rusted, but it was awesome.
That's all right. I mean, rust is cool.
Yeah, so that's unbelievable. But what's cool is like if we look at the common themes on what you did, everything, you're hungry. You didn't have all the answers. You didn't know you just said yes to opportunities is basically like how you started, how you got introduced. That one guy came to you and he's like, we could do this. You didn't have it all figured out, but you said yes to it. You were open, you adapted, you learned, and you just moved on.
Yep.
Right. And that's pretty cool because I think a lot of us just don't seek out these other opportunities or challenges or say yes to doing the work when it's in front of them. Right. Because that guy was kind of like folding up his business and you're like, dude, let's just go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's been a lot of hard work and like perseverance, and just kind of figuring it out. I'm a very like low risk guy. I don't like to sign the 3 or 5 year land, the 3 or 5 year lease agreements and the crazy amounts of overhead. But so that was kind of like my model in the beginning too, where my mindset, keep it easy, keep it simple.
Yeah.
And everybody says don't work with friends and family, but like that's how I started my business as well, which I think the best people to be around are the people you love anyway. So as long as you can like handle those conversations. I mean, my brother is here kind of being the producer behind the scenes today, and Kyle, Nolan, like some of my best friends growing up, they work with me full time, and that trust is already there, and they believe in my vision, and like they believed in my vision when I was younger, like in high school and stuff too, football leader, that kind of stuff, right? So all that stuff combined is just really set up for like a really successful business. And when we started, doing servicing and gym installs, we were just talking about it. I mean, Kyle was making, probably like nothing for like the first couple months, but then like he eventually moved in with us, like me and my parents, so, like we were just living at the house. So he was making like $200 a month or something like that. Like just to like, we would pay for the gas and then he would get paid like $200 a month. So like he could like go out or pay for his phone or something, right? Like that was it for like 6 months, 8 months. Like it was just an investment in the beginning. So it's really cool looking back on it now, but that's how we started our entire business. And yeah, now it's nothing like it was, it's a lot bigger now. We've got over between the 6 gyms and our other company, we're over 40, 45 employees. So
that's awesome. Quick question, because we never talked about this. I never asked you before. What would is it possible? Obviously, so all your 6 locations are how far away from each other for the most part in Wisconsin?
Like 15 to 25 minutes.
Okay.
Each. So
yeah, you've got them in each of these little small towns. The advantage being you're the only game in town. The advantage being rent is really low. Another advantage being is you can source very cheap equipment, right? So all those things come together in addition to the skill sets you bring to the table. What is the likelihood, as I'm thinking about this and just mulling it over, is there any way that this could be expandable to fit nearly any of these smaller towns? What do you think the possibilities of it is?
I mean, I think it's very replicatable. I think it's very easy to, basically any small town. I couldn't tell you on like a population size that it wouldn't work on, because I've even debated in the town that I live in of 500 people. I've thought about like doing something like, if there, again, real estate in small towns is already very hard. So that's like one of the biggest hiccups is like, you need to find the real estate and it's got to be the right size. Yeah. But I've debated finding a little space for 500 people and just trying to just to do it. What am I going to be out? You know what I mean? So I think if the population's right, what I've found too is the ideal location is a summer spot. Summers are usually the bad times for gyms, but not if there's water around. You get all the vacationers, you get that. So Wisconsin, we've got a lot of water around us. You know what I mean? It's kind of easy to kind of do that. But no, I do think it's very, 2,000 people minimum, I think is like, it's good. I still think it's no problem. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know on like, you start getting into very blue collar towns, it gets a little tough because you got a lot of like hardworking guys that's a totally different demographic. Yeah. Because the one gym I've got in town is 5,500 people. It's our biggest gym. Well, it's one of our biggest gyms, but it's like 14,000 square feet. It's an awesome facility. Of course, it's kind of off the beaten path. It's in the industrial park, so you don't have Main Street visibility. But that gym is like the coolest gym around, and we're still sitting at. We should have more members, I guess is what I'm trying to say. For 5,500 people, we should have 1,000 members. Yeah, in a small town. But it's a very blue collar town. It's very hardworking. It's not a very. Some of these really small towns do a lot for themselves. Like they get together. They've got a good chamber of commerce. Like those things are very important too in these small towns. They do a lot of local events for each other. You know what I mean? Like they're getting together, and so that was something that I would definitely consider too in a small town. It's like how much does that community care about it being a community, right? So, yeah, and you're right. Yeah, if they're very labor intensive jobs, it's going to be harder to get the men. In it, right? Because they're worn out. They're working long, hard days. So that's definitely something to consider for sure. But yeah, one of the cool things is we kind of talked about is like, hey, how to get more in here. And one of the greatest things that you can do is not necessarily the conversion ads, right? Which are more expensive, but we know we can probably get you awareness ads for 1 penny per view for a through play, meaning somebody watches 15 seconds of a video for 1 penny. So when you look at like, we could, for like $120, I think we calculate we can pretty much hit every viable adult to watch your video. What was it, like twice a week or something like that? Twice a week for a month,
yeah. Insane. Yeah. And have your commercials run like Coca-Cola, you know what I mean? And that's a really cool thing. So that's the nice thing is like you can really develop a name for yourself when you're the only game in town. And you're kind of doing that. Like you have your Grizzly podcast. Right? Where you're just kind of serving your local communities, like in that area with a podcast and just sharing the journey of health and fitness and wellness and all that kind of stuff, which is really cool. Yeah. But yeah, it gets me thinking, I'm like, okay, well, what's the viability of doing 5 locations, but then doing 5 more? And it's got potential, especially as you continue to iron out everything. Yeah. Right. And so everybody knows these open gym memberships around $40 a month. Yep. And you have 24/7 access. A lot of the memberships you will handle online through a sign up, but in your busier locations, you do staff those during designated hours as well. Yep. Right.
Yeah. Our 2 bigger facilities, 3 of our facilities, including our 6th, our partner location, we do staff more often than not. Kind of like 8 a.m. to like 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. Yeah. Saturday mornings or something like that, right? Just because we do get a lot of foot traffic and small communities, it is important to have like a face. It is important to, usually you want to be like the owner. I'm very not the face of the gyms. People know who I am, like coincidentally, like they don't really know that I'm like the owner of these gyms, which I'm cool with. I don't need the ego aspect. Like I'm fine with just being behind the scenes, but small communities do thrive on the conversations, the coffee club vibe, hey, Scott, so great to see you again, at 6 a.m., like just those little conversations. So big communities, big cities, I feel like there's less of that. There's less of that, like waving to people as they drive by, or you're going for a run outside. You know what I mean? It's just like, there's so many people you just don't really care. You know what I mean? Like you lose that small town vibe where everybody knows each other compared to like a big city, right? So that is still important in like a small community, having somebody to like say, hey, see you later too, knowing people by name and stuff, that small town stuff. So yeah, it is important.
Very cool. Very cool. So yeah, how should people get a hold of you if they want, like, hey, I need to get all new benches. They're getting all ratty. I bought them anyways when my gym wasn't making as much money. I just kind of made do, but it's about time I get the right stuff in and find the right stuff. Like, how should they reach out to you, so you can help them out?
Yeah, our best, we've got a customer service line actually. That's a cell phone. I could throw that out there. Otherwise, our email. So, because I'm trying to think, our website's not like a crazy website, right? Like, so I would probably just shoot me an email. Email's Colton, Colton, at PF, as in Priority Fitness, hyphen, crappy email, pros, PROS.com. So Colton at PF-pros.com. Our website's PF-pros.com. So, of course, PF Pros was taken when we started our email and our website 5 years ago, and So that's a good way. Otherwise, our customer service line, I'll just throw it out there too. You can call or text us 920-765-3644. It's a customer service line we use for our gyms as well. We just got a girl who answers the phone kind of 24/7, takes a message. So either of those would be fine. Yeah, I think that'd probably be best. We've got Gym Repair Now, too, that they can kind of submit something to. Yeah.
So you got kind of Gym Repair Now in the works, where if you got a problem with your treadmill, your elliptical, your whatever it is, and that's just gymrepairnow.com.
Yep.
And if you got a problem with it, which happens a lot, here's what happens is, like, typically it's been a while since something went out, so you got to look up who to call, right? Go to Craigslist, go to Facebook Marketplace, find something, search for something, get somebody out. It's going to cost you $150 just to get somebody out?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
The problem is typically they can't fix it either, because it's not like they just have that part that needs to be replaced or whatever on their truck.
Right.
So you get $150 to visit, then you're going to get a quote, right, for the most part, and then you're going to have to wait.
Yep.
And at that point, you're out $150, and you got to figure out, is this even serviceable, or do I just need to ditch this thing?
Right.
If it's going to cost $900 and it's getting really old, you're like, shoot, maybe I should just. So at the end of the day, a lot of us just don't know what to do. We can't move it fast, and it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where you're kind of experimenting with Gym Repair Now, right?
Yeah. So the entire vision behind Gym Repair Now is, I understand as a gym owner and as a fitness equipment installer service, I'm not here to be a salesman. I'm not trying to sell you a whole new gym. I'm trying to help keep the costs low for the gym owner. I'm trying to help them and give them honest feedback. So a lot of people also in the fitness industry, you want to think the fitness industry is great, but a lot of the servicers and sales people, they're not that great. There's just a lot of dicey people out there. So I'm in it on both sides. So I understand what your books probably look like, and I also understand how much it costs to fix your stuff. So I can see it from both angles. You call a company like me, and we're going to, you call me on a Monday and I say, we're booked this week. We'll see you next week. On X day, we come out, we diagnose it, because it wasn't just a belt issue. It was a motor, roller, whatever.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to relay that back to my office. They're going to give you an estimate the next day or 2 days, whatever, maybe the same day if they're a really fast acting company. And so now you've already waited a week. Now I've come out, and now you're, waiting for the estimate. Now you've got to approve the estimate. Once you approve it, then I got to order the part. So we're just looking at, could be a week, could be 3 weeks, right? And then I've got to come back out once the part comes in. You got to hope the part's not on back order or whatever, right? So there's just all these factors. The vision behind Gym Repair Now is to keep the cost low for the gym owner and give them transparent feedback on what they should do with their unit, if it is repairable, if it's not. So the goal of Gym Repair Now, when it's up and running at its highest point, is that we're doing mobile diagnostics, right? Scott's treadmill breaks whether it's his house or his gym, it really doesn't matter. Scott can tell us what went wrong with it. Here's a video of it, whatever. And our team will then look at it. If we can't diagnose it, there's no cost to the gym owner. Hey, Scott, your video sucks, man. I have no idea. there's just going to be certain things that we can't help on, or it could be like 3 or 4 different issues. And if we can't narrow it down to like 1, maybe 2, we're not going to tell Scott like, hey, it's going to be, you know what I mean, one of these 4 things. Well, we'll tell you it'll be one of these 4 things, but like we can't help you, and we're not going to help you order the part. So mobile diagnostics, and then you can do what you want with that information. Hey man, it's a running belt for your treadmill. Scott's like, oh great, I've ordered 3 of these before, I can get a new one. Or we'll place the order for you. We'll drop ship the part to you. You know what I mean? Like we'll help with all of that. I know as a gym owner, you order the wrong stuff, you got to ship it back. It's a pain in the butt or whatever, you know.
Oh yeah.
So we have all those connections. We're in with a lot of those companies already, and oftentimes we can even help save you money on the part. Scott might have a Precor treadmill. He might call Precor direct. His cost is going to be $700 on a new motor. You know, we get discounts with Precor, so order through us and we'll save you some money on the part or whatever too. And we'll handle like all the returns if they send the wrong part or we order the wrong part, right? Like that's all on us. So
yeah,
that's a lot of kind of the general idea of gym repair now, right?
Yeah, it's cool. It's like it's fast and easy, you know. And so got us a pain in the butt looking stuff up and this and that and getting somebody out. And I never trust a lot of people either.
Yeah,
you don't know what you're getting. So cool thing is they have it set up where it can just be done mobile. Like you can put in, you know, you can take a snapshot of like the serial number and the product number and stuff and say what's kind of going on. They might even have you shoot a video on your phone, but you can set up where you're just texting this information over.
Yep.
And they can work to create a diagnostic on it and then even find the part and order it. Like it's really cool.
Yeah. So for like the gym owner too, yeah, it's very simple. You don't necessarily, like we don't need to get on a call with you. We don't need to set up a FaceTime necessarily. Scott can just submit his issue and we can answer back a couple questions like, hey, can you get a picture of this angle or that angle, right? And then Scott can get us that information. So as long as you're texting us at a good time, you know, when this is running at full capacity, we want to be getting back to obviously ASAP as well. But yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be super simple. Now there might be a time where we have to get you on the phone or again, it really comes down to the quality of the video or the pictures we're getting and what the issue is. I don't want to say we can diagnose things 100% of the time because we just can't. Ellipticals, AMTs, they have more moving parts, step mills. Unless you're going to take the cover off and get me like a really good picture video, some of those things we're just going to have to kind of walk away from. We also, you know, speaking kind of far out just because we're talking about it, you know, the ideal scenario would be we work with local service providers in your area. So that way now instead of you having to like reach out to that guy that you really hate talking to or, you know, he's always late or whatever, you know, you just don't have a great relationship with your service provider. Hey, Scott, we can't diagnose this for you, but we're going to connect you with a local provider and we'll have them come out. You know what I mean? Like we can kind of start and make that bridge as well. So that would kind of be like a long-term vision there too. It's like we just work with the local provider. We handle it for you. We schedule it. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's just simple for you. Because as a gym owner, like you just want it fixed and you don't want to worry about it, right?
Yep.
You don't want to look up the manual. You don't want to look up like the error codes. You don't want to deal with that. You just want to be like, Colton, treadmill screwed up again. Here's the error code. Help me fix it, right? So, all of those pain points, like as a gym owner, because we know what they are, like we want to help fix that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So a lot of our gyms, we run at tight margins, like $1,000 repair on a random May evening or, you know, July day, right? Like that screws up your margins or can kind of screw up a lot of stuff, right? So if we can help knock that off $200-$300, I mean, hey, a service that I want to offer right now, anybody listening too, if you guys get a quote from like a local provider, shoot it to me in an email and I'll help find the parts right now and I can help, you know what I mean?
And
like
you can just give a price right there.
Yeah.
That alone is worth doing that. I recently had to do that. There's just this, since moved out to this house, right?
Yeah.
Had to find a new auto mechanic and everything like that because the other place is just too far, right?
Yeah.
I just don't trust these guys.
That's always tough, yeah.
I don't trust them at all. And then I recently, my wife's Jeep needed something. And yeah, I just sent him back over to my other guy. I'm like, hey, can you give me, because we're actually going to, like, we decided it's worth it. And it's not just the money's the principle of it, you know, and the fact, the bottom line is like, it didn't need the engine mount.
Right.
The place of the oil leak was a different spot than they said it was.
Yeah.
And it was just ridiculous. And then with this other, it ended up, I mean, it saved us like $900 from one phone call there.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing is like, I just want to know I'm not getting ripped off. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't even care if they charge more than an hourly rate. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even matter to me. Like, I just want somebody that's not going to rip me off.
Yep.
And I'm glad I made that extra phone call to just get that second opinion. Because, yeah, you know, it's that situation. So if you've got, guys, if you listening, if you have anything that you need repaired, or if you're considering getting anything replaced or new equipment or used equipment, whatever it is, I encourage you to really reach out to Colton in one of those formats, the email or through Gym Repair Now or whichever one it is. It's worth sending an email and saying, hey, can you beat this? Is this right? Whatever it is, because it's just, take the time to do it.
Yeah, it's super easy for us. Like if you have an estimate that came in from a local service provider and you guys are just curious, are they ripping me off? Are they not? And don't get me wrong, like I'm in the service and repair industry as well. Like we have to have margins in the parts. We have to make money on the parts because it's just part of it. And so like, but some of these providers will take it too far. For instance, a new treadmill motor might be $700, but I might be getting it at $300 or $350. Our business does not charge retail price on something like that. We're not going to charge you $700 for that motor. Generally, we might charge $500 or something, right? You know what I mean? Like we're not here. So some of these quotes that you guys are getting, your service provider might be making $300, $400, $500 a part, especially on these expensive repairs. Obviously, if you got a $50 part, you don't need to send it to me and like try to get it for $40. I mean, if you want to, go ahead, but that's not really the point. But pads, stickers, pins, like all these like easy things too. Like we can help drop ship that right to you guys. If you guys don't want to deal with it, if you want a better quote or whatever, like we can source all of it, right? So
it's awesome, man. Well, amazing story. I can't wait to see what you continue to do. I know we always touch base on kind of what you're working on and how you're growing. So a lot of avenues, really cool. Thank you for being on the show here. Yeah. And can't wait to grab some steak tonight. Like we're going to probably some margaritas, good steak shortly after this. So appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You got it, guys. Thanks a lot for listening. We'll see you next week. Listen, if you're stuck and could use some advice in your business, whether you're just starting out, a veteran in the business, or expanding online or into multiple locations, you can hop on a free call with us to pick our brains at ptlegends.com/one-on-one call. You can see that in the show notes. That is with numbers. Chances are we'll be able to help you get some clarity on what you need to do specifically in your business to get to the next level. It's not a sales call. We'll connect you with the right resources to help you solve your problems. But if you want to learn more about working with us, that's cool too. We can share that information should you want it. So book your call now to get out of the rat race before your week consumes you, which is easy to do at ptlegends.com/one-on-one call. That's with the number 1 on the number 1 call. You can find this in the show notes. See you soon.